By week 6, his score was 0 on all his depression and anxiety scales. He had no symptoms at all of depression, anxiety, not just of those recent extreme symptoms that he was experiencing, but the symptoms that went back his entire life that had never completely resolved before. So he said, I've never felt this well in my entire life. And so this is the power of these strategies, is they don't just reduce symptoms a little bit. They actually have the power to heal the underlying problem in ways that, this is a phrase I've heard so many times. I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life. You don't hear that when you prescribe medications for people generally.
That was in 2019, was it?
I couldn't tell you what year, but that sounds right.
How is he doing now?
Yeah, we still talk with each other several times a year. He's doing very well. In fact, so he's one of the interesting things about what happened with this diet is that during that long period of intermittent agitation, he's a very physically fit guy because of all the exercise, and he was lean. He lost 10 pounds during that period of agitation that he could not afford to lose. So when he first started working with me, he was underweight, and despite eating 4 pounds of fatty meat per day, he couldn't regain that 10 pounds unless we added back some carbohydrate into the diet. This is a subtle point, but for athletes, sometimes, especially in the early phase of the transition, there needs to be a certain amount of carbohydrate in the diet to support high performance.
He didn't stay on the carnivore diet.
No, he did not. So he was on the carnivore diet for many months, and then but because he couldn't regain that weight, I asked him, I said, well, I think we need to put some carbohydrate in to help you regain this weight. And so I asked him which foods he missed the most, gave him a list of whole foods to choose from. And the things he missed most were potatoes and yogurt. So some starchy root vegetables, some plain unsweetened yogurt, up to about 100 grams of carbohydrate per day seemed to be about right for the days when he was exercising. On the days when he wasn't exercising, he would cut it back. So he was tailoring it to his personal energy needs. And so